Hi, I'm Dave Turi of All the Cool Stuff, and I'm here today to talk to you about Rollout Roll Cool and Twins of Power. 4 weeks. Today is Rollout Roll Cool and Twins of Power. Now, we still got 4 weeks to go, but I've kind of still got like loads to do, and I've still got loads to tell you. So I'm back again in the third video that we've done leading up to the event itself. Keep the questions coming in. Today we're going to be talking about the additional guests that we've not spoken about so far. So in the previous two videos we've got some very special guests lined up for the show itself. We've mentioned Larry Hammer, Nick Roche, John Paul Bove, Boss Fight Studios, the incredible Boss Fight Studios, James Eatock, Eamon O'Donoghue and Emiliano Santalucia. Now some of these guests in forthcoming videos we're going to feature more deeply and give you a better background, okay? Because there's some guys out there, especially from the Transformers side of things, like Emiliano Santalucia. I think you guys really need to check him out if you've never actually had a chance to speak to him before. He's done so much. I'd like to welcome Kat Nicholson and Jason Cardy to the show. We've also got someone who we have had at the show, but we never actually spotlighted her before, and we should have done, is Jessica Bradley. Jessica Bradley is the other half of John Paul Bove, or perhaps the better half of John Paul, sorry, but it's true. Also, a very special guest in the form of Karen Travis. Now, the name might not be so familiar to people just yet, but there is a new comic book called The Fall of G.I. Joe, which is starting this month, and she is the lead writer for it. Karen is actually very experienced in writing many stories and novels. She's done a lot of work in Star Wars. She did the whole Republic Commando series of novels. She's done Gears of War. She's done a lot for Halo as well, writing a lot of novels on the Halo property. So she's very well-established, well-respected writer who's now come to G.I. Joe for the first time. So it's kind of like looking at G.I. Joe slightly to the future, with respect to that the world has changed. You know, does the world actually need G.I. Joe anymore? Is the real enemy that they face Cobra, or is it actually on their own home turf, you know, through all the politics and things like that? So this is her first appearance since the launch of the comic, which comes out this month. So please get a chance to meet her and talk to her and find out what she's got planned for this whole new exciting chapter of G.I. Joe. We've also got a couple of fan favourites coming to the UK for the first time. We have Raging Spoon, who is a customizer and does a lot of custom parts. He's coming across from Texas, and if you are an Action Force or a G.I. Joe fan, I think you're gonna freak with some of the things that he's got lined up. He's doing a couple of exclusives for the show, which we'll cover in a later episode. We also have the unstoppable Gary Gyre Viper Head coming. Representing Joe Declassified for the first time, Gary Head is going to be doing a presentation giving fans a glimpse into a lot of history and pre-production information relating to G.I. Joe, and there is a little tiny Transformer one which I've never seen before that he's going to be covering as well in the presentation. So if you're a fan of either franchise, he is someone who certainly you cannot afford to miss, and he's coming across for the first time. And I hope it's the first of many for both Gary and Joe Declassified. Two guys last year who did a very small panel, Patrick Lennon and Brian Hickey, are going to actually be selling and offering for the first time ever Total Retaliation. Now, they did a panel, like I mentioned last year, which is about the run-up for the book, their plans for the book. They've actually now done this book. Check out these amazing pages, and this book will be on sale for the very first time in limited quantities in a special Rollout Roll Call edition at the show. So we thank them for doing that, and we welcome them back to the show. So make sure you get that chance to pre-order the book through the website, and also get a chance for the guys to sign it for you. Also, we have James Eatock's partner in crime, Marianne Wright, coming. Now, Marianne is a contributor to the official He-Man Masters of the Universe YouTube channel with James. She does a lot of cosplay, and she recently supported him out in San Diego dressed as Sweet Bee and Gem. But they're very, very cool, and she'll be appearing Sunday only, but she'll be there to support James, also chairing in the presentation with him, and I think she's got something lined up in terms of like she'll be dressing up or cosplaying as someone or other. Don't ask me who, maybe ask James. It could even be James, she might be there with a beard. That would be quite eerie and possibly sexy at the same time. Last but not least, we got 2 podcasts in attendance. Last year we had Glenn and Sam from Back to the 80s. They are coming back again, and be sure to catch the guys who will be doing a live presentation or a live panel or a live recording. I don't know quite how they do it, and quite possibly Glenn will be involved in some of the Q&As within the actual show itself. We can't have Back to the 80s without the full force, which I'm ashamed to say that this means that Eddie Inman and Christopher McLeod will be at the show.
Was there anything else that you liked about the show?
We really liked Chris McLeod.
No, I'm not. This is
Oh,
all. It's all
Jesus,
that's getting
really?
cut out. That's getting cut out. You can't.
It was like
You'll damage
he
your
was like
reputation by saying that.
a tall Scottish Adonis walking around the showroom
Scottish.
floor.
Brilliant. Adonis.
I can't believe they confused you for someone else
I
already.
know. It must have been talking about Martin, who's Irish.
You have ruined Dirty Diana for me. I cannot listen
Eric Carenya. How? What's that line, Eric? What's the line?
because Chris ain't going home because he's sleeping with me.
That's got to stay in, surely.
Oh, of course it is. Chris ain't going home because he's sleeping with me. Eric Carenya. Oh. Unbelievable.
Don't let that put you off. But together we are the full force, and we will be doing some form of live show. So that pretty much wraps up for this video. We've added a lot of extra new guests since like the previous 2 videos, so we hope that this is expanding your need and your want and your desire to come to Rollout Roll Call and Twins of Power. If you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate to give us a shout. You can either contact us on the Facebook page, which is Rollout Roll Call or Twins of Power. We're on Twitter at Rollout Roll Call or at Twins of Power. We also have a Tumblr page as well, Rollout Roll Call. I think you're starting to see a pattern here, but don't hesitate to get in touch if you've got any questions at all. We'll be covering in future videos more content that's lined up for the show, exclusives, some of the competitions and presentations, and also, like I mentioned earlier, a bit more of a focus on some of the guests themselves. 4 weeks to Rollout Roll Call and Twins of Power, and we want to see you there. I'll see you soon. Take care.